Welcome. Wow, guys, what a crazy 24 hours. My mind was absolutely blown by what I've learned about the female. And it just goes to show you that if it is true, how much the world has perfidied the psyches of me and you and people before us. So to our next generations coming through, what's in store for them? See, it's our job is enlighten people that know the truth to educate our next generation. And if you've got kids, that starts with the family dynamic. Excuse me. It starts with being a good parent because it all stems from there. You know, I can look back at my life and say, well, mummy and daddy could have done better. And I tell you what, hell yeah, they could have done a lot better. But they did enough to get me to this stage in my life. I was always fed, I had clothes on my back and shelter. And love sometimes, whatever love is. So, in saying all that, it's very important for the mother especially, and the father, but also the mother, to be very careful how can I put it, how she holds herself. Because the child sees it all. Now, I've been listening to Zerion in the last few hours, well, before at least last night, talking about castration. And it's real deep stuff, guys, the psychology. I'm not saying Michael Cesarian's the bee's knees and everything he says is right, but he is one of the most educated scholars I've ever come across in my life, in my research. So we'll take that for what you will. And this channel he goes on with this beautiful lady named Sarah. She's got her own channel called Willfully Evolving Woman. And most of, I think all the videos on her channel with Michael Cesarian and her in conversation about the psychology of the dark side of the female psyche, sexuality, all sorts of topics, guys. And it's absolutely mind-blowing to sit there for a couple of hours and listen to it. But I find I have information overload, so I have to take it slowly, because otherwise it doesn't sink in. And it's important that it does sink in, because knowledge is power, right? If used. Knowledge is only power if it's acted on. You know, here I am after 5 years of hard research, giving all this knowledge in my braincraft. But how is it really helping my life? Well, it's making me make better decisions. It's making me realise that I can't be captured by fear from the system or religious institutions. And when you have start to get knowledge, guys, it's liberating, but it also empowers you. Because if you start learning about things that I talk about on this channel, when you're walking down the street and you walk past the average Joe Blow in the street, there's a good high chance that you know a lot more than that person in regard to the big picture. But hey, you just never know, right? You just never know. Don't be too quick to think that you're the big smart ass on the block. You've got to let your ego go, guys, your super ego. So psychology for me has been very important. You know, we've all got, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm saying this, but I think we've all got a wee bit of a psychologist in us. You know, they say we'll look beyond the eyes. This amazing thing called a brain, called a mind. You can see the brain physically, right? After an autopsy, etc. The mind you can't see. The mind is an illusion. It's not real because you can't see it. But it's there, and it's in every single person. And it's how we perceive life is what we're going to get, right? I know a lot of people are going to have a hang up about that and say, well, what do you mean? But, like the law of attraction, I used to think it was like positive affirmations, sit there and repeat that I'm going to win the lottery, I'm going to get a job, positive thinking. Hey, there's nothing wrong with positive thinking. But you've got to put some action with it. And until you do that, your life won't change. It's very hard. It can be very hard. It can be daunting. It can be unmotivating when things that you want to happen in your life don't happen. But there's usually a reason why they're not happening. It's usually because you're not putting in any work. You can think about it all day long. But for it to materialise, you have to put a bit of action with it, guys. You must know this by now. So I'm fully aware in my life personally that certain changes aren't manifesting for me. And it's purely because I'm not putting enough action towards them things transpiring. And that's on me. And it's on you. And it's on everyone that wants to change. We all want to. I think most of us want to change. Some of us don't. But the ones of us that do want to change for the better, we've got to put a bit of work in. That takes participation. It takes effort. It takes willpower. It takes physical activity. It takes self-belief. Michael and the lady touched on self-loathing earlier on last night. And I can't exactly remember what they said entirely about it, but it's got something to do with abuse. If the mother's seen as useless or she's abused, I think the child can rub off on the child. Something like that. I could be wrong. There's all these different elements to it. And one day, guys, when I get clever enough, I'll be able to elucidate them properly and do them justice. Right now, I'm learning on the job. Like I always tell you guys, I'm learning on the job. And most of what I listen to or read, I remember. Some of it I don't, because sometimes I go a bit overboard in my knowledge intake. And it's my fault. But when you start educating yourself, this thing called the internet is such a great tool. But it's like I said in an earlier, I think a recent video, it can be used for good and bad. Like the plant medicines and that can be used for good or bad, like anything. You can use a knife to carve a little statue and put it up on your shelf with your books. And you can also use that knife to cut someone's throat. So the balance is important. So my message in this video today, ladies and gentlemen, is knowledge is power, but only when it's utilised. Otherwise, it's like wasted gems. It's like feeding gold nuggets to the pigs. But still, it is still good to have the knowledge. Even if you don't utilise it, it's still good to have it there. But it seems to be a bit of a waste if you don't use it in in a way where it will help you change your life or change someone else's life for that fact. So in summary, you guys, my audience, I don't know yous. I'll probably never meet yous. I don't know who you are, where you come from, what you do with your life, how rich you are, what your beliefs are, unless you leave comments. But if you don't take anything out of this video this morning, or today, whenever you're watching this video, take this one thing. Life is what you perceive it to be. You can change it by positive thinking turned into action. And not everything is as it seems, guys. When you start getting into psychology and start learning about how treacherous the people that run this world and write the history books have been, you start to realise that everything's a big fat lie. And it's up to you to decipher the facts from the fiction, the forest from the trees, if that makes sense. Don't be too quick to get caught up in belief systems, like I always say. Don't get tied in with religion and government and politics and medicine and science, because they're all just religions. They're all subjective belief systems most of the time. You've got to be objective, and morality comes into that, with objective morality being very important, because what you do is what you get back, right? And you might not notice it at first, but it does come back to get you sometime. So just right at this one finish, I find doing these videos very therapeutic. It's like having a friend. It's like having friends I don't know, like you guys. It's for my creativity. It's for my own personal development and education. And if I can share that with you guys, and you get something out of it, and are encouraged to do your own research for your own self-awakening and belief, and your own self-fortitude, that's great. I'm happy. My job's done. If only one person watches one of these videos and gets something out of it, which helps change their life, or which helps them start to think more positively about themselves and the world, that's great. I've done my job. And that's all I've ever tried to do on this channel. I really appreciate you for being here and listening to me waffling about all this stuff. It's fascinating, guys. We're gonna stick with Michael Tazarian for a bit longer, then we're gonna go down another avenue. We're gonna explore other wise men and women on this planet that will teach us stuff about ourselves and the world we live in. And I encourage you to stay with me on this journey if you so desire. There's no pressure. But think about it. If you want to start to learn bits and pieces about stuff, subscribe to my channel, Heep. And together let's grow in knowledge and awakening and move forward into the future of positivity, self-discovery, and let's combat and destroy all the lies and illusions that have been inculcated into our psyche through mind control. The control is the dominator. Down with the dominator. Down, down, down. Down with the dominator. Down. Peace. Have a good day. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time on Heep. Goodbye for now.